A very warm welcome to the final round of action of the E-Racing GP season number 5, the brainchild of Alex Young, who's alongside me in the square boxes here. Alex, when you started this little adventure about 15 months ago, did you think you'd get through 5 seasons?
No, I mean, and that's great. That's all due to the overwhelming response, you know. So many good sim races in Asia Pacific now, and the levels just been getting higher and higher. Being great to commentate on as well. Great to do this for them. Watching, seeing how they've improved from copper class all the way to bronze, silver, and then gold. You know, to see that progression and the professionalism from all the drivers and teams.
For those who haven't really seen what it is, sim racing, you've got drivers in different countries, in their bedrooms, in their living rooms, sometimes in a professional outfit, but they're driving simulated, and we're seeing the end result of the computer graphics on Raceroom. So thanks to Raceroom, also thanks to other sponsors, Alex, who've come on board to help us through 5 seasons.
Of course, I mean, X-Park have been with us for a while now, adventure parks here in Malaysia, Royal Selangor, pewter, world-class pewter maker, but they also do all sorts of other materials, and they're doing our trophies. More importantly, Motorsport Playground will be wrapping one of our winners at the end of the year, one of their cars, actual real-life cars, and of course Life will make our great t-shirts.
Indeed. A blatant plug for our sponsors. We're very grateful to the assistance they've given us, but it is all about the racers and the drivers, and if you don't know what we mean by E-Racing GP, the Gold Edition has had some sensational races, including last week's efforts. Let's look at the best of the highlights from the Gold Edition. Let's get on board with Ottaviani as the red lights go off, and Ottaviani is off to a rock-solid start behind him. But drivers are trying to make a real headway, but Ottaviani is into that first corner, Amo Hazik, whereas behind him Tasby has been clipped, and Tasby has dropped 6 or 7 places. But we've not remarked about Inigo Anton. Inigo is the only one who's really been able to go alongside Ottaviani's pace. In the meantime, P3, Mohammed Nabil and Kalen Chin going for it. Kalen Chin goes up on the inside. Nabil retakes that. So Chin into 3, then Nabil into 3 as they drag themselves around. Behind them, Naquib Azlan is a second down. This is Mohammed Nabil. He's maybe, I don't know whether there'll be some brotherly love in there. He just tries to hold up Kalen Chin, but the Black Wolf driver is looking aggressive. Goes on the inside, can't find a way through. Again has a look on the inside, and Naquib has closed in on that gap. So his brother, Amo, inadvertently has done him a favour.
Yeah, definitely, and this is going to be a bit of an atonement based on what happened last time out in Silverstone, to be honest. And, having said that, Kalen through, so nope, no atonement just about yet, but he can actually do his brother still a favour by battling with Kalen. Here's Ayman, he's got the slipstream and the DRS. Both brothers pull onto the one side, so that's pretty much normal defensive maneuvers. But the DRS, look at that, the strength of the DRS and the slipstream has gotten Ayman up to 5th. Now he can actually challenge Nabil further up in front in 5th place, but nothing to it. As, a bit of a slide coming through the hairpin. Ayman will still have the DRS next time by. Nabil here, looking like a sitting duck.
Naquib going backwards, he's just lost ground as we join the race leader, Ottaviani. The win has gone to Alessandro Ottaviani. The victory is his. Inigo Anton has got P2. There was such a good battle going on lower down. On pole will be Paul Faustino from the Philippines alongside Joaquim Garrido, Masvilton and Josh Purwien on the second row. And let's drive along with Josh Purwien. See what he does behind them. Who is that who's gone down? Kalen Chin is out.
I think that was Naquib, because that blue car is normally Naquib's. I think he just stalled it on the grid. So
Naquib Azlan is indeed stalled. Oh, what a twist. What a turn to this championship.
And more incident further up on the road there in turn 1. But that's the biggest one of the lot. That could easily open up the championship even more now. Whatever happened to Naquib at the start there has thrown the spanner into the works, and it has opened up everything.
The man in the mask, Paul Faustino, is the man who leads as Masvilton and Joaquim Garrido take out Jin Masvilton. For a moment, I thought it was Purwien, but Masvilton is the man who spins out of contention.
He's saving it up to actually use it at the final possible stretch, which is right about here. After turn 13 and 14, he's going to use the DRS, and he will power his way past. And good news for him as well, he still has extra DRS to use towards the end for the end of the next lap. So there we go. He's using it now, remaining 2, slipstream onto the inside, and he takes the lead away from Paul Faustino.
Poor Josh Purwien, the new race leader. Up at the front, Paul Faustino, for so long chasing P1, is now under pressure from Mohammed Tasby. Let's not forget that Tasby is still in championship contention as well. Purwien, Tasby, Tadashi and Inigo all had decent rounds, very decent rounds this time out, whereas Naquib Azlan has had a nightmare.
Yeah, an absolute nightmare. And probably not even of his own doing, because sometimes when you actually stall in the grid, it's normally because that the game froze. So he might have had a game freeze at the worst possible moment and he couldn't start the race. So that's why he's out of the race and he didn't bother trying to actually aim for the fastest lap, because there's no point chasing other drivers when you're out of it.
Tasby eases on the inside of Paul Faustino, and Mohammed Tasby in the yellow vehicle moves into P2 in race number 2. That is worth 12 points. Purwien from Tasby. That is a winning smile from young Josh Purwien. Better hadn't celebrate too much, because Tasby's been able to pull in a full second so far in this lap. But Josh Purwien... Oh! What's happened to Josh?
What's Josh doing? In fact, he's smiling right now. What's
happened to Josh?
Josh, what are you doing, Josh?
He thought he'd won. Mohammed Tasby is the winner. Josh Purwien has made... Something has happened to Josh Purwien.
What?
And Mohammed Tasby has won. Mohammed Tasby will pick up the points. Inigo Anton, another P2. Tadashi 3. Ali 4. Zini 5. Purwien just disappearing. We'll solve the question in just a short while. Naquib Azlan is the overall championship leader, though, in the gold edition. The ERGP has 4 different categories. Nurshaz Lizan won the title in the silver edition. Bernard Chan and Kelvin Powell were the leaders in the bronze and copper editions coming into this final 5th round of the season. Onto the gold. Naquib Azlan has 104 points, a lead of 11 over Josh Purwien. His mystery will be solved in a moment. Mohammed Tasby, who won race 2 last week in P3. Inigo Anton in P4 for the Philippines. All 4 of those mathematically can win it. Theoretically, Ayman Hakim can mathematically as well, but that would take a remarkable set of circumstances. But it's going down to the final race of the season, this one. In the Teams Cup, Stratos Motorsports, that's Naquib's team, coming into the 5th round, have 319 points and look likely just to tip Tedco X Project Mo Racing and Sim Racing Pilipinas for the Teams Championship. And in the Nations Cup, Malaysia have accumulated a massive 557 points ahead of the Philippines and Singapore. Australia ahead of Indonesia in P4 with 3 points, or as in 3 figures to their name. But let's just firstly solve that mystery, Alex Young. I was fuming when we discovered what had happened with Josh Purwien. We had long debates for quite a while. But explain to the viewers at home what Josh Purwien did, because he deliberately pulled off the track at the end.
Okay, so Purwien deliberately, we wouldn't have seen it if Josh hadn't been so obvious about it. It is a grey area in our rules. You have to carry success ballast from the previous round. So the top 10 in the previous round carried ballast. Don't carry it forward. But we also have drop points. You must drop points between round 1 and 4, so you can get rid of your lowest score. So Josh was not on for a very high scoring round, so he would have had to drop 4 points anyway. But he didn't want to win that round, because then you'd have to carry the success ballast. So there is a grey area. It was against the spirit of the rules, but he decided to drop out. Des, I know you are super unhappy about it, and that's all that we know. I mean, Naquib might have done it as well. We don't know that for sure either. What that does mean, though, is Purwien and Azlan have dropped points from that round 4, and more importantly for them at least, they are not carrying any success ballast here in round 5.
So clever, I suppose, is what it is, against the spirit of the sport, fundamentally me, but I am very naive in circumstances like this. Anyway, on to round 5. No points allowed to be dropped on round 5. The championship standings we showed you before include the dropped points from the worst round of the first 4. So we know the mathematics coming into the final 2 races of the season. We're at Zandvoort, so before we discuss the mathematics, let's have a look at the circuit, because Zandvoort is a difficult track. Let's just see how difficult alongside Ayman Hakim Tadashi.
So coming up to the track here on the hot lap mode, you want to start bring it out as much speed as possible here. This will be a very tricky corner here. As you can see, I'm lifting off a little bit there. 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, down into turn 1 will be the most amazing corner actually, and a very unique name as well, Tarzan Walk, where you might want to shout like a Tarzan coming down that bank. So come into the third corner here, and the hairpin over here. Oh, a little bit of slide. Third gear, fourth gear, and ideally this would be a DRS lap, DRS zone, but you gotta be careful of the loose rear end. It's not gonna be good for the race. As we come in down to this section here, careful not to end up in the gravel on the left. Fifth gear, fourth gear, a blazing right-hander like a Marlboro. We're in the Marlboro corner anyway. Coming down to the Renault corner, second gear, third gear, connected properly like how Vodafone did it on their connection. Another DRS zone, fourth gear, fifth gear, another overtaking opportunity here, down to the Audi S section here. Not much Audi on this grid, but it will be fun to see an Audi making a move as we come to the last two corners here. Ideally you want to have this in third gear. You can have it in fourth gear if you want on fuel saving mode. And here opens up the throttle a little bit. On the throttle again, fourth gear, fifth gear, and there we go. For one last time, that's one lap of me in Circuit de Zandvoort.
Naquib as Tarzan, the mind boggles. I tell you, we'll try the Tarzan call halfway through the race if Tadashi is there. Right, let's get on to the contenders. Alex, Naquib Azlan, so often so close. Second 3 times, third once in the 4 seasons we've had so far. Championship leader.
Yeah.
He can't throw it away again.
Yeah. And there he is on screen right now in the blue car. Wow, imagine if he doesn't win it. They'll make him 5 times runner-up in Global Edition. Like you said, he's been runner-up in all our Global Editions. First to Leif Hamilton, then Dylan Tan pipped him at the last round as well. I mean, it's always been like this, like 1 point, 2 points. One round, he was actually equal on points with the Leaf, but then lost on countback. So, I mean, Naquib has to be the favourite, I think, because we know how good he is. But Purwien, and we have to look at Purwien as well. There he is in the pink car. He's in the pit lane right now. Purwien, watch out for him in the pink car. He's really improved. You know, race room is not Josh's game. Josh Purwien is very good at iRacing. He's one of the top in the world. But on race room, it's not really his game. But in this Global Edition, he's suddenly found something because he's been winning races, being consistent, and that's why he's got a chance at the championship today.
Well, he is within 11 points, so if anything goes wrong in qualification or in race number 1 for Naquib, and this is a circuit where contact can be expected, I think. There's a lot of trains, but if you get a corner wrong, you can easily just get edged out, and we've seen these guys are very competitive, more competitive than I imagined.
Yeah, I mean, Zandvoort is long, fast corners, great to drive with, hard to race. So when you try and overtake there, you often have to send one down the inside, and there's often contact. Inevitably, there's contact. So this is a track race. This is a track that will get very argy-bargy.
Qualification is just about to start. The racers have done all of their practice rounds. DTM cars for all. And qualification is indeed underway. We're on board with Inigo Anton. Now, Inigo is on the outside of the reckoning. 75 points he'll take into this. But Inigo has got himself 2 podiums so far this season. And you can virtually guarantee he'll be in the top 5. Is he good enough to make it 2 race wins and potentially take the title?
Whew, wow, it's going to be a stretch indeed. Speed, we never doubt the speed with Inigo Anton. He's so quick. Just the decisions in some racecraft, some of the racecraft needs to get a bit more experience, I feel. He makes some wrong calls. Remember Watkins Glen, he was going to win that race, but then he put it in the barrier. But he's carrying a tiny bit of success ballast, I think only like 5 kilos or something, so it's not much. He should be in with a fight for pole position.
That success ballast is important, of course. Purwien doesn't carry any, which will make his lap times very, very interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, Josh or Naquib for pole position for me, but Anton is looking good. He was super good through that right-hander just now, right on the limit of things.
Inigo, sorry, I went the wrong way. There is Inigo. Fastest through the first sector, 41.0. Here's the first out. What are we looking? Are we looking 132s, 133s?
Yes, he has to be in the 32s. We saw the silver class in the 33s earlier, but for gold, these are the best of the best. They have to be in the 32s, and that's what Anton's going to be aiming for. And he is looking very clean. This lap's looking like a very good one, to be honest.
Inside 105 for Sector 2, so he's on track for a 33s. He's going to really have to push it to get inside of that. 119, bottom right, middle right of the screen is his lap time at the moment as he comes to finish this lap, and he is 31, 32, 132.3. That is quick, and that puts him temporarily on pole, and then Mohammed Tasbi nicks it off him, and Naquib Azlan has also got there, and Josh Purwin, Alex Young, he's on a fast lap. He's posted a 132.5, is currently in P4.
Okay, so this is the challenger. He's second in the championship. This is him starting his lap right now. He's P4 at the moment. He needs to put it on pole, I feel. And not just for the 5 points you get by putting it on pole, but just for the mental side of things, just to let Naquib know that he's in this to win it.
Naquib has not won in the last 3 races. He was 3 seconds and 2 wins, but he hasn't won in the last 3 races, so his form isn't great. He's lost this championship on the last day on 3 separate occasions, so his confidence in this might be jittery.
Yeah.
I'm setting him up for a fall there, aren't I?
Yeah. Well, 4 separate occasions he's lost on the last day, so... You know, Naquib's a classy driver. He'll be trying not to think about it, but how do you not have that in the back of your mind? As Josh Purwin goes purple, Sector 1, he's a 10th up on everyone. So if he can keep it clean for the next 2 sectors, he could be on pole position.
Wow, that is a challenge accepted from Josh Purwin. At the moment, Naquib Azlan is in P2 behind Mohammed Tasbi, but fastest through Sector 1, 40.8. If he's inside 110 for Sector 2, we know we are on for a quick... Oh, he's lost just a bit of time. 700ths down. Sorry, inside 1.5. 700ths down, though, in P2. Tasbi leads. Naquib second. Anton third. Josh Purwin fourth. We'll stick on with Josh Purwin. He needs to make up some time. He needs to be fastest in qualification.
Yeah, he's really good through that last corner, that penultimate corner there. Is he able to go through that last corner with just a small lift instead of a big lift?
32.4, the time to beat, and he is inside a 32.1. Josh Purwin on pole position, ahead of Mohammed Tasbi. Naquib relegated down to the second row of the grid. We are on board here with Tasbi. How much time? There's still a minute left in qualification. Anybody else going to really challenge that there? Inigo Anton's on a lap out at the moment, but he is 2/10 down through Sector 1. How about Ayman Hakim Tadashi, Alex? He's down as well. He goes sideways, so that's not going to change things at the front. How about our European rivals? De Gretschel on his debut as a wild card. He's coming in here. His fastest time so far, a 1:35.0, won't be good enough for the front row. So, Josh Purwin puts down a challenge, puts down a marker to Naquib Azlan, but Naquib will be on second row of the grid.
Yeah, so Josh Purwin with 5 points for pole, Tasbi with 4, Naquib with 3, Inigo Anton with 2, and Ayman Hazik with 1 point. So, you said the gap between Naquib and Purwin was 11 points. It's now 9.
It's now 9. 107 plays 98. That means one little push from the back, one little crash into the wall, and Naquib Azlan could be facing a 5th time of tears. Oh, gosh, this is great. This is a great sport.
Oh, it is. I love it. It's such an equalizer. It's a proper sport. Anyone, I mean, you got some of these guys driving keyboards and mouses, but obviously in Go class they tend to have nicer equipment. But anyone can drive in these races, and it's great.
E-Racing GP, 2 races to go, 10 races throughout the season. You've got this based upon the qualification that you've just seen. Then you've got a reverse grid race where we spin a wheel and we work out how low down the grid you become the reverse grid. There are opportunities for Josh Purwin here. He's second in the table, but only 9 points adrift of the championship leader, Naquib Azlan. Looking forward to this immensely. We are at the circuit Zandvoort, the Grand Prix circuit. 20 seconds for the racers just to calm their beating hearts. Front row of the grid will be Josh Purwin. There he is in the on the left there in the pink BMW. Naquib behind him in the blue.
There's Tasbi in the yellow.
And joining us for the race, for the commentary, will be Amo Hazik. Josh Purwien in pole position. The countdown is on. We are on board with Josh. And he has got off to a decent start. But look at that. Naquib is through, as is Tasby. Oh, Tasby's the man into the lead. Tasby leads. Purwien holds off Naquib in P2. Inigo Anton in 4. Naquib thought he'd been able to force the pace there and get through to P1. Instead, he hasn't been able to improve. However, for Josh Purwien, it is P2. Amo Hazik, is that nerves, or will Josh be okay with that start?
I think he'll be okay with that start because he can actually use Naquib as some sort of blocker to block the rest of, between himself and the rest of the field. But crucially though, Naquib also actually is going to be the one who's going to be overtaking him if he has the opportunity. Like what he's going to do right now. Does he take him? No, he doesn't. Not just about yet.
We're on board with Naquib Azlan, looking forward onto Josh Purwien. Josh, you can almost hear his heart beating extra hard because the tension is pretty high for them. Tasby is the race leader. Tasby in yellow for Singapore. He mathematically has got a chance as well if things go his way. Let's not write Tasby off. He won last time out. Although it was a gifted win, he will be there or thereabouts. Purwien second in the pink. Naquib third. Inigo Anton fourth. Kalen Chin has got himself up into P5, Ammo.
And indeed, the fact that the top 3 right now are all championship contenders, so their line is third, except the fact that they're actually swapped the other way around. So Tasby, third in championship, leading the race, and then likewise, Josh Purwien second, and third is Naquib Azlan. We're on board right now with Inigo Anton. He's in the box seat. He gets to see the rest of the drivers right in front of him, how he drives. Fourth in the championship, incidentally, as well. He's actually watching briefly just in case the 3 of them slip up.
Indeed, if those 3 crash out, then Inigo Anton is then the temptation for him just to run into the back of Naquib, so he hits Josh, so he hits Tasby. Well, that's my evil mind. You racers, you wouldn't do that, would you, Ammo?
No, we wouldn't do anything cynical, at least. But as we saw last time out, because the way that Josh and Naquib had a bit of tactical games in the championship to actually favor themselves in this final round. But I don't think it was any malice involved, to be honest. In this case, in the case of Josh, he just literally pulled off to let everyone through. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt at least. But right now, at the moment, they're not thinking about taking each other out.
You are far more generous than I, as Mohammed Tasby leads Josh Purwien. Naquib Azlan is the man in P4. Tasby in the yellow. What pressure he is under. Purwien and Naquib both have DRS. So this is a race to the line. Remember, 25 points available for the race win. 20 for second, 16 for third. So if it's a first for Purwien and a third for Naquib Azlan and a fastest lap for Purwien, then Purwien would take the championship lead going into the final race. That's how tight this season is. Naquib can't afford to think about things like that. But, Ammo, you're a racer. You've got to be thinking of things like that, don't you?
Yeah, for the most part, I would. But then, when it comes to the race, I just wanted to put it at the back of my mind because I just wanted to focus on trying to get the better of the guy in front. It will be something equivalent to what happened in the bronze class just now, where Bernard Chan had the opportunity to win the championship, but he let it slip through his fingers. And Naki will try not to do the same thing as Josh goes around the outside at Tarzanbach. Does he get a move stick? No, Tasby is quite wise there, but he lets him through on the inside, and Josh takes the lead of the race. That is crucial.
Josh Purwien leads. Naquib couldn't get round the outside of Mohammed Tasby. Inigo Anton and Kalen Chin draw in. Mohammed Zini not too far up behind in P5. Apologies to the rest though. We are going to focus on this sprint for the line. It's a sprint race, 15 minutes, and these guys are sprinting 1:33.5 the last lap for Josh Purwien. So all inside the 1:33s already.
Wow, wait. Saying Fazal the race, all 3 of them. And currently, right now, like, at least held by Inigo Anton. So he's taking away points from both of them. All 3 of them. But it's not enough for him to actually overhaul them in the championship at least. He's just keeping himself in contention somewhat. But if he can't get a move on right now, he's going to lose that championship contention. He's going to at least contend for 4th place in the championship.
We are looking back from Josh Purwien on to Mohammed Tasby in yellow, Naquib Azlan in blue. That is Singapore and Malaysia chasing the Australian, the Filipino, 1 place behind in the grey, and then another Australian, Kalen Chin. It's an Aussie, it's a big Aussie sandwich. A quadruple decker, but Purwien looking pretty cool, it must be said. Amo Hazik, bottom right.
Yeah, you can see that his face is quite unfazed. He's actually very serious. As they say for Mark Webber, Aussie grit. That's Aussie grit on right now for Purwien. And because he was behind Tasby coming up to the first corner.
You know what? He's more than a second clear.
Yes, and he also has the benefit of DRS as well. He actually used that last bit of DRS across the start finish zone, so that's why he could build up a second gap. Now he can make a beeline for it and get away from Naquib, who himself has overtaken Tasby for second.
But Naquib will not have the benefit of DRS. It was very close. There's got to be a second difference as they cross the start finish line. Now, how was it right? Let's see if Naquib is able to use the DRS at all. We're on board with Naquib Azlan. 6/10 down on Josh Purwien. But it's only towards the latter stage of the track that they'll really utilise DRS. Have I got that right?
No, he doesn't have DRS because he was, again, you're right there, Des. You saw it just now. He was over a second behind, so he didn't have DRS that time. Now he has to make it up organically by chipping away at the lead remorselessly to get up to the back of Purwien. But that's an easier task than done. Right now, at least he's doing it, but he'll try to get by Josh as soon as possible if he could get the opportunity.
Tasby will have DRS though, so Tasby can attack Naquib Azlan and Josh Purwien. Inigo Anton can as well. And let's not forget Kalen Chin, because Kalen could be a real spoiler in this party. He could make the mathematics very difficult for race 2.
Oh, indeed, and the fact that he could also be just in there just for the sake of, he could steal a win or two. In fact, he has already claimed the win, I think. No, he hasn't.
No.
He hasn't. His best finish has been third so far. So
correct.
He'll be looking to actually finish the season on a high by claiming another podium or even a win.
Up at the front, Purwien under pressure from Naquib Azlan. Naquib this time has got close enough. Will he make the move on this start-finish straight? As he looks on the outside, Purwien will defend. Purwien does defend. Naquib low on the bank. They don't go wide and sweep down. They don't use the banking at all there as Purwien holds off Naquib. This is thrilling stuff.
Absolutely, and they're not wanting to do what Axel Nocom did and go around the outside twice. Actually, he did pull that move once off on Bernard Chan, but he couldn't do it a second time. They're trying to follow what he's doing, but it's not easy when you have cars that are bigger than Formula 3 cars.
So, Kalen Chin at the back of that train, but less than half a second separating 1, 2, 3 and 4. It is beautifully poised. Josh Purwien having to focus and defend. 6.5 minutes of this race have gone. 7. Well, we're counting down to the midway point. Naquib is still the man in control as Naquib has a look down the inside of Purwien. Here's the contact. Oh, Naquib. Ammo, scary.
And mind you, they already had contact at the start of the year. Remember, we was at the Red Bull Ring where Josh powered his way past Naquib, and in the post-race penalties, it wasn't given. So they wouldn't want to do that again, especially with the championship on the line here right now.
Indeed, we must. Any result that we give you will be unofficial. It's got to be unofficial because there could be penalties. And when the racing is this close, Ammo, there are bound to be contacts. There's bound to be maybe 1 or 2 protests throwing in.
For sure, Des, and the fact that some of the small contact that drivers had right now might be also detrimental to them in terms of the penalty stakes, because remember, we have 40 incident points on offer as Naquib goes around the outside again at Tarzanbach. Can he actually make it stick again? Not this time. So Josh holds firm, and he really knew how to defend coming out of Tarzanbach there. He just lets the car slip out around the outside, and Naquib just couldn't find a way past.
But Josh Purwien is having to defend so much. Ammo, is he conscious of what's going on behind him, or is he just focused on his line, his length, his pace?
A bit of both, and the fact that he had the drivers behind, he also has his rearview mirrors on, so he could definitely see Naquib behind him. But at the same time, he can also focus on in front because he can detect the pace. He's up in front, so he is well and truly in his own power to actually do whatever he wants at the front, so long as it's actually legal.
It's risky to break away from these front 2, but behind them I'm just... Oh, as Naquib goes on the inside, Naquib Azlan, new race leader. But not, Josh Purwien tries to come back on the inside. Purwien and Naquib wheel to wheel, and Naquib just holds off. Brave racing from Naquib. Big defending from Josh. Big moment in the championship.
Absolutely. This is going to be in favor of Naquib now coming to the final round of the season. Yes, it will only be about 4 points between them coming into the final race of the season. But mind you, we still have 1 more race to go, and that will be the one that will be the ultimate decider. Right now, the battle is being won by Naquib Azlan, but the war is truly not over yet.
Very, very, very briefly, I'm going to break away from this front 3, Ammo, bear with me. I'm just going to give a mention out to Dirk Gretschel, who is joining us from Germany. He's down in P14 at the moment. Mark Voltaire, Elman, Gav Kintos behind them. Harris Zeffi further down as well. But welcome to the championship, Dirk Gretschel. Welcome to Asian racing. Up at the front, we're seeing how good it is because Naquib is leading the way. Dirk, bottom right of your screen in the IV glasses.
The VR.
The VR glasses IV. Exciting stuff. It's got my words all mixed up. But Naquib is pulling away ammo, has he?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the fact that he could actually just break the DRS DRS range slightly for Josh. But Josh has the DRS at the moment. He's not using it through here, as contrary to what Ayman Hakim told us at the on-board lap. You can't use it there, and you can't definitely use it at the short areas between Marlboro and Renault. So he's gonna have to use it in between the Audi S's and all the way out of Ari Lion Dyke corner.
Well, he is close enough. 0.4 of a second down. They are beginning to drop Tasby. They're certainly dropping Inigo and Kalen Chin and Ayman Azik and Zini and Mohammed Nabil. Apologies to those guys for kind of ignoring them. There are 20 starters in this race, but we are focused on this front five for good reason. A, the racing is superb, and B, the title is on the line.
Well, absolutely. And I'll be sweating. My palms will be sweating, that's for sure. Because this one, you just can't take your eyes off it if you're even the driver or the ones outside looking in.
Purwien on the DRS.
He can still go either way, as Purwien, as you said, is on DRS. He's going to try to go around the outside Tarzan Bok. Naquib holds on to the inside. Can he make it? No, not this time. So Naquib's doing what Josh is doing, only this time Josh is the one that is actually attacking.
3:45 still to race, which is what? This lap plus 2 more. That's about right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because they started. That's going to be tight.
I think about 2.5 at least right now.
Yeah, so this plus 2, yeah.
Yep, so this might still be a couple of laps to go. In fact, Tasby, they're watching brief. He just wants the both of them to just collide, and he could get the opportunity to actually close out even more, because coming into the run, he was only 19 points, 8 behind Josh. So if anything would happen between these two, the top 3 would be tight coming into the final race of the season.
He also picked up 4 points as well in qualification, so you're quite right. He's not out of the reckoning. He was on 89 points, but he needs Naquib to do something catastrophic. Naquib isn't looking like he is. Naquib is driving really, really well at the moment. Has a lead of 0.6 of a second. We're on board with Purwien. They've both got the DRS operating. Naquib, is he able to break the DRS? That would be the victory if he does. But Purwien is hanging on for dear life.
Absolutely. Josh doesn't want to lose him now. Not at this moment and not at this time in the season, because he knows that even just one race to go, he still needs to actually be as close as possible to Naquib. And coming through the Ari Lion Dyke Bok, does he have the DRS this time? Yes, he does. He's about 0.5 behind. So he's going to use it now, and he gets another helping of DRS next time by. So 3 more DRS uses for this lap, and he's got 2 laps to do so to overtake Naquib.
Indeed, 2 laps to go. The title is going to the line unless either Purwien or Tasby drop out, but it's going to go right to the final race of the season again, and we can expect plenty of ding-donging there, because that is a reverse grid race. That will really tug at the nerves. This is nerve-tingling enough. At the moment, though, Naquib able to hold on. Purwien not able to get close as yet. Oh, mind you, he's closing up now.
He wouldn't try to overtake through here. He could send both of them into the kitty litter. So he's going to have to wait until after the Renault Buck and on the way to the Audi S's to actually make it through. Not here either, but the Marlboro Buck. It's way too tight, and he could easily push off each other. Now he could probably do it coming into the Renault Buck. Does he? No, he can't. Not enough this time, because remember, that was where Naquib overtook Josh for the lead. So he's trying to plan it there, but not just close enough yet. So he's going to plan it now, maybe coming through the Audi S's.
All the while, Tasby is waiting. The DRS is in play from Josh Purwien. Is this the moment where Purwien makes a big, big play for the title through the S's? Naquib is nice and tight. That's good defensive, good... what's the word I'm after? Solid driving from Naquib. No mistake, under pressure.
Textbook driving indeed. But crucially right now, Naquib does have the fastest lap. Josh does. So that might actually be interesting for the championship as we now come into the final lap of the race. Naquib on the inside, Josh around the outside. He's got DRS. Does he have the run coming through Tarzan Bok? He's just slightly in front. They're touching each other, going side by side, coming through the Tarzan Bok. Does he make it stick? No, not again, not this time. Naquib holds on to the lead still.
Wow, so Naquib, though, will not... Naquib's got to defend for this whole final lap. That means the Purwien has got the DRS advantage, and Tasby is just waiting. You two knock each other out. Go on, son. That's what he's saying. But Naquib Azlan defended that one superbly. Naquib doesn't necessarily need to defend that much, does he? Because he can't risk going off the circuit.
No, he can't. And in fact, at the moment that he goes on the circuit, that's it. Josh will have the advantage. The ball will be in his court coming into the final round. So right now, all Naki needs to do is what he has been doing for the last 4 laps, and that's defend with all his might against Josh Purwien, who's also hungry for the title.
Very, very briefly, Kalen Chin is the man in P4, and Mohammed Zini, who's just gone ahead of Ayman Hazik into P5, Tadashi 7, Mohammed Nabil in 8, Inton 9. Back up to the front, Naquib accelerates away. Naquib Azlan is closing in on an important victory in the penultimate race of the 10-race season. Through the S's, he's just got to take this one nice and neat and tidy. And Naquib Azlan, you can almost see a smile coming over his face. Is he close enough? Is he there? Naquib Azlan comes around into the start-finish line, and Naquib Azlan, the blue car, takes it. Naquib, 25 points. Purwien second, Tasby third, Kalen Chin in fourth. Quick comments, Amar Hazik.
Wow, he's actually breathing a sigh of relief there. He knew that was important. The puff of the cheeks shows that he's got one part of the job done. Now he needs to do the second one for the second race.
And we will very, very quickly try to grab a quick word with Naquib. Naquib, you were under... Can you hear us there?
Yep, I can hear
Okay,
you.
you were under intense pressure, and we saw a big puff of the cheeks at the end. What was your emotion on the last couple of laps?
So I knew, this track was so difficult to overtake. Watching the previous races in silver and bronze as well, the overtakes were really difficult. So I knew after starting third, it was gonna be difficult. But once I got the lead, I really tried my best to hold it. Huge, immense pressure from Josh behind. He drove really well. But yeah, exhilarated.
One more to go. We'll just let you go there because you've got to prep for the next race. Good luck. Congratulations and good luck in race 2.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of race 2, sorry to get you out there, but I've been informed that race 2 will be up to 14th. So Dirk Gretschel will be on pole for the reverse grid race.
Oh wow, how about that? There is Dirk. Welcome aboard, Dirk. I hope you're enjoying this competition, and you may well have a big say because what goes on in the race behind is going to be really, really fascinating. For this, Naquib Azlan will pick up 25 points. Was Purwien fastest lap?
Yes.
A 1:32.6. So Josh Purwien will pick up 22 points for that. 8 points the differential going into the final race of the season. Tasby, 16 points, will get up to 105. So Tasby's championship hope has gone. Naquib Azlan wins the race, 25 points. Purwien, 20 points plus 2 for the fastest lap. Tasby, 16. All three beyond the 100 points in the championship. Ayman Hazik picking up a P4 for his best result so far this season. Kalen Chin in P5. Wow, Amo, big breath. We've got 50 seconds. You talk me through what the racers are thinking at this stage.
Not to be too nervous. There will, yes, some of the ones who are still in contention for the championship, the top 3 right now, which is Naquib, Josh, and Tasby. They'll try to calm themselves. They don't want to think about what's gonna happen. They have to make it happen right now because they have to believe what they do will actually win in the championship.
Circuit Zandvoort Grand Prix. 30 seconds remaining of this season, season 5. As with all the other seasons, we are going down to the final corner of the final lap of the final race of the season before we know who the champion is. Dirk Gretschel from Germany will be our guest on pole position. A reverse grid race, which means that Naquib Azlan starts from P14 as the red lights get ready. The red lights go off. And we will be underway. Gretschel to the right of our screen. It's a long hole for the racers. And there is Gretschel.
Whoa, it's a big accident for the back, but Gretschel gets bogged on the start there as through in the lead goes Brody Steen.
Brody Steen is through in the lead. Gretschel moves from P1 to P7 immediately. And there's a problem for him. And then he's caught up into P8 as well. Beyond them, Purwien up into P11. Naquib Azlan, not the best of starts, but he has made a place. He's up into P13. But Purwien knows that he must win and hope that Naquib gets caught up into traffic. But Brody Steen leads from Nabil, from Tadashi, from Kali, from Inigo, from Kalen Chin, and Paul Faustino making up the top 6. Gretschel, that was a nightmare start for him.
Yeah, that's not what he wanted, being on pole and being on the cameras for the first time for this race. That is something that he'll have to work on, because these cars also have launch control, so might have been that he released the button a little bit too late there and bogged the start. But whatever it is, it's the countryman to Josh Purwien, Brody Steen taking the lead, with Naquib and Josh still outside the top 10.
Yeah, Nabil in P2, Tadashi in P3, Khalif in 4, Kalen Chin, who once again drove very nicely in race number 1 without getting onto the podium. He is the man in P6, but our real focus, Ammo, must be on Josh Purwien, who's in P10. That's Ayman Azik. He is there. Mohammed Zini behind him, and as he looks back, he's got Zini in the grey and Naquib in the blue. Naquib at the moment out of the points.
And that's crucial. That's Zini actually doing a bit of work there for Josh. He's actually helping out indirectly somewhat to actually stall Naquib's progress coming up through the field, as Josh himself is trying to actually make a move on Amazi. I think no DRS this time around. He actually did he? No, not this time. So he didn't use it that time. He just got deployed for this race. As onto the inside goes Josh and takes away 9th place from Gretschel.
If my mathematics are correct, then Josh needs to win, and so that would be 15 points for him. The differential going into it is 12. So if Josh Purwien wins, then 7th would just be enough on count back for Naquib Azlan.
That 7 or worse will be what Josh is looking for Naquib, and
depending on fastest lap, of course.
Yeah, so whoever gets the fastest lap here will be the one that's deciding the championship. So points for fastest lap, really, it could be a blessing or a curse for some drivers. And if you're fast in the race, that's a blessing.
So Brody Steen, welcome Brody. We don't speak about Brody very much. I still think Brody was his best, his most stylish when he was driving the Porsche. I used to love that. But he's in the DTMs, and at the moment he got off to a good start, and he's leading us through into lap number 2, and is looking pretty quick, because that's Nabil, who is no slouch behind him. Kalen Chin is in P3, just ahead of Mohammed Khalif. Inigo Anton leading a duo of Philippines in P5. There is Anton with Paul Faustino behind him. And
Anton then will be a bit sad that he'll be at least at best 4th in the championship. He was ahead of Ayman, or I say rather behind Ayman in that first race, but he'll still be ahead of him in the championship coming into the final race of the season, as he's in the DRS trying to overtake Khalif onto the inside here. Khalif's not defending that hard, and he takes away 4th place from Khalif. So Anton then aiming to finish the best he could in his championship. Best ever finish in the championship of 4th.
Brody Steen has lost his race lead to Mohammed Nabil. No disgrace in that, but Brody Steen is managing to keep up fairly quickly. We'll keep an eye on this start of the race. Ooh, who's dropped down? There's been an incident. Naquib has got up into P10, Josh Purwien to P8, Tasby dropped down into P12. Mohammed Nabil is the new race leader. Nabil hunkers down, focused, and he won't have any thoughts for his brother, but we remember how he knocked his brother off the championship line on the last corner of the last race of last season.
And at Silverstone, so he'll probably be not thinking about that right now, at least. But Nabil doing the bit for his brother here by trying to stay ahead and steal away points from if Josh was to be behind him. Josh at the moment P7, so 3.1 seconds behind, nowhere near yet, so Nabil can try to make a beeline for it at the front.
Okay, let's have a look at Josh Purwien, see how he is doing. That's Paul Faustino, Mohammed Khalif, who are right ahead of him. There's not much of a gap, you know. The idea of Josh getting through this crowd in the next 10 minutes is not beyond the imagination. He's in P7 at the moment. He'll want to get round Paul Faustino if he can. He'll be carrying DRS speed as well, which is good. Faustino feeling the pressure as Josh looks on the outside, looks on the inside. But no way past at the moment, Ammo.
Because he doesn't have DRS that time round, so he has it now, but he's going to have to use it somewhere along the lap to actually get by, as Naquib was looking very racy there behind Ayman Hakim. So Tasby is also behind him. That's going to be testy between all three of them in the championship, who are trying to fight their way through the field.
I'd imagine that Josh Purwien will be in the eyes of Naquib Azlan. Naquib will just be saying, where is that pink of Purwien?
One of the three pink Mercedes cars, but is the one that's furthest in front. That's what he's looking at. It's a bit deja vu, isn't it? Because there's so many pink Mercedes in the field.
Naquib looks focused. He won race 1 here. He picked up potentially 3 important points in qualification. Purwien picking up maximum points in qualification, but they reversed those positions, so they're neck and neck. 12 points between them coming into this final race of the season. We are at Zandvoort, and this is your championship leader at the moment. But Purwien, Amo, is beginning to make a move here now. His DRS is on, and Faustino is in his sights.
He's going to go to the inside of the DRS. Whoa, that's going to be very late. He's actually shoved Faustino out of the way slightly. Faustino was to be on the inside coming out of the LDSs, and now he's going to have to make that maneuver coming out of the Ari Lyondike corner. So does he have the line here? They're going side by side around the Kumo corner, through Ari Lyondike corner, and Faustino there loses it slightly, loses a position as well, time Isaac. So Josh is getting his way further out the field. Now Faustino is going to be swamped up by the rest of the field.
Josh Purwien has actually taken Mohammed Khalif and Ayman Hazik as well. That was a brilliant 20 seconds for Josh Purwien. He's now up into P5. He needs to get up into P1.
Yes, that's the minimum right now. He needs
win
to win.
or bust.
Yeah, win or bust. He has to actually win this and hope that Naquib stays where he is right now, because that will be the championship swinging in his favor. And currently, fastest lap of the race actually is going to Inigo Anton right now. So he's about 1.2 seconds off that one. He just needs to get that fastest lap as well, just for reassurance.
Brody Steen is the man in Josh Purwien's sights now. It is a thrilling battle down for him. He can not worry about Naquib Azlan. Naquib currently in P10, but right on the shoulder of Tadashi, as Josh Purwien is right on the shoulder of Brody Steen. He can see the front men. He can see the front. That is Nabil at the front of this little group.
Oh, Nabil can actually do a favor for Naquib here, albeit not directly involved with his brother this time around. He could actually try and stall Josh here to prevent him from getting the win. This could be a very interesting subplot in the big picture of the championship.
Nabil and Naquib again. Gosh. Right, let's just break away. Let's see how Naquib is doing. I can tell you, he's just eased past Ayman Hakim Tadashi. He's got Paul Faustino. So for Naquib, he is into the points. He would pick up 2 points for P9. He's the blue in that sandwich. As they come down the start-finish straight, he will look ahead. That's Naquib there. He's just got ahead of Faustino, so Naquib now onto 3 points. Khalif and Ayman Hazik in front of them. Josh Purwien has got past Brody Steen, so Josh Purwien is in P4, and Nabil, Inigo Anton and Kalen Chin separate Josh Purwien, but Naquib at the moment doing just enough ammo.
Yeah, this is the position where he wants to be, because it is a 12-point difference right now. And if Josh actually wins this race and somehow gets the fastest lap in between, that will be back on count back. So that will be on count back. We had to count back after this if Josh actually gets the win and fastest lap.
And Naquib would win that, because it's mind you, if Josh wins, it's 2 wins apiece. So then you go on second places, and Naquib wins on second places.
Yeah, indeed. In fact, 3 wins for Josh actually if he actually wins this one.
Where was number 3?
One at Red Bull Ring.
Oh, you're right.
One at Watkins Glen.
I do apologise. You're dead right. That changes the equation.
So that's crucial now. If Josh gets the win, and in fact Naquib gets ahead, he's up to 7 right now of Khalif. So now Josh has to get that fastest lap and the win here to send it to comeback.
Okay, let's have a look at the race leader. There is a race going on. Inigo Anton is leading it. Kalen Chin is second. Mohammed Nabil is third. Josh Purwien chasing that little group. Josh Purwien is the pink behind the grey of Inigo Anton. Another good performance from Inigo Anton. He picked up points in qualification. He was doing well before he fell away in race number 1. Here he is, race leader once again with 5 minutes plus to race. But Anton has been quick throughout this season, Amo.
Yeah, indeed, and he has shown flashes of brilliance everywhere. He had that one pole position with his best finish second, and that was last time at Aragon, so he hasn't been able to crack the win this year, but at least he has been competitive.
Okay, Josh Purwien is at the back of that little group of 3. Let's have a look at what view Purwien has got. The DRS is employed, but that is Nabil in front of him. And then Kalen Chin. Oh, he gets very close to the back end of Mohammed Nabil. He's got to be brave, but he can't be reckless. And there's a fine line between the two, Amo.
Oh, yeah, indeed. And the fact that this is where Nabil can actually come in to stall Josh. So he's going to do, this is where he's going to do his brother a huge favor here. If he could hold off Josh for much longer as we come into the final 4.5 minutes that remain in the season, this will be now what we could say is the atonement from Nabil if he could pull off an absolute masterclass in defending against Josh.
So Nabil is in front. He's really causing problems. Inigo Anton and Kalen Chin and Nabil and Josh Purwien. 1, 2, 3, 4. Barely 2 car lengths between 1 through 4 as they come into this banked right-hander. It's a quick circuit this, but not as many overtaking positions perhaps as we anticipated as the sun sets over the beach.
Yep, and Josh gets into the inside run. That's a good run coming out of Ari Lyondike, and he has the lead. I think he has the lead against Nabil. Side by side, Nico coming up to Tarzan Bach. And there he is, 3rd place for Josh Purwien. That's 1 more position gain in the grand scheme of things. That is crucial now. He could try to chase Kalen and Inigo for the win.
3 minutes and 38 to go. That means this lap, which is almost a full lap, plus 2 more. Behind them, Naquib Azlan. He might make a Purwien win redundant, because at the moment he is in P6, Naquib Azlan. Which is,
yeah,
what, 4 points?
5 points, I think.
4.
4, 3, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 4 points. So that means that Josh would need to win and get fastest lap.
And even that, it won't be enough because Naquib is just in a very good position at the moment. 6th place is enough. Even if Josh wins, it could be enough to win the championship by just about 4 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Give or take the protests, Samo.
Oh yeah, we have not seen the protest yet, but we can't make any premature announcements, at least until the fat lady sings. And in this case, the fat lady's still keeping her powder dry at the moment.
Okay, Kalen Chin is the race leader. There is a race going on. Josh Purwien into P2, goes round the outside of Inigo Anton. So Kalen is now the man in Josh Purwien's sights. It's Australia, Philippines, Malaysia. Naquib up into P6. Kalen Chin. We know Kalen is quick and Kalen is enjoying this battle, chattering away on Discord. But now then, Josh, will he have the DRS? Josh Purwien goes for the lead with 2 minutes to go, Ammo.
Oh, it's not, I don't think it's enough because Kalen had DRS there. But having said that, look at that. That deep dive on the inside coming from Tarzanbach holds the line and hangs Kalen out to dry. And that's it. That's the lead for Josh. He's done his part. Now he has to try and pull away here. But it still couldn't be enough because Naquib is still in 6th place unless something dramatic happens to Naquib in the final 2 minutes that we have in the season.
It is the Tarzan call from Josh Purwien. We can hear it through the jungle, or on the beach anyway. Purwien leads from Kalen, from Inigo, from Nabil. Naquib Azlan. You know what? I'm not convinced about P6. It depends on fastest lap, you know. It was 12 points.
So it'll be 17 points for the win.
17 and 4. That's 13. That's
still not enough. That actually, Naquib will lose out by just 1 point
exactly.
Here.
So who's got the fastest lap?
Fastest lap right now, at least. Oh God, where is it? Yeah, it's Inigo. Inigo still holds on to it.
Inigo still holds on to it. So the fastest lap might well decide this championship unless Naquib can get in front of Ayman Haziq on this last lap of the season.
Wow.
It is Ayman Haziq in the pink who is holding off Naquib. Naquib needs that place. Naquib needs that place. And even that might not be enough. Josh Purwien is leading. Has Josh done enough? It is down to single points once again. Josh Purwien comes round this right-hand corner.
Okay, so final lap coming up.
Final lap coming up.
4/10. 4/10 is it's all it takes for Josh here to get those 2 vital points for the fastest lap. And it's still not enough. He's 5/10 off that time of his personal best. And about 9/10 off. So the tires have actually faded. So he has to pull it off in his final lap. The final 4/10 needed to get those 2 points.
Naquib Azlan, though, he is fighting his own little battle with Ayman Haziq. he will want to make sure that there's points between them because it is so tight. Protests might still come in, of course. Not that we've seen any involving the front men. So Purwien leads from Caelan Chin, and Purwien is doing everything he needs to. Caelan, is his maths right? Is our maths right? Caelan Chin second, Anton third, Nabil fourth, Ayman fifth, and this is Naquib Azlan in the procession. He needs a place. Can't get past Ayman on this occasion.
Not this time as Ayman. Oh, he defends it hard. He goes onto the inside. This might be the championship overtaking maneuver. And yes, he's up to fifth. That's enough, I think. That will be enough for him to take the championship.
And he's got Mohammed Nabil in front of him. Nabil obligingly moves out of the way. This time, brotherly love does come into play as Naquib Azlan moves into P4. Josh Purwien will win this race, but Naquib Azlan in P4 has done enough. Josh Purwien given it absolutely everything. It is a masterclass to come from P13 to come and take the victory ahead of Caelan Chin and Inigo Anton. But Naquib Azlan will be the champion. Josh Purwien takes the victory for his third win of the season. Congratulations to him. Naquib Azlan gets into P3. Naquib is our champion at the fifth time of asking. Barring any race steward situation, but Josh Purwien has taken the win. All thanks to Amo Hazik for a brilliant season of commentary. Alex Young, let's talk to, well, the race winner firstly, Josh Purwien.
Yes, of course. Thanks, Amo. Great job as usual. Josh Purwien with the win. He doesn't look happy because he knows he's lost the championship. But Josh, tell us what you're thinking.
A bit annoyed, I guess, at race one. I think I probably could have won that race if I played my cards a bit better and made a mistake in the last sector of the first race, which I guess kind of cost me the championship. I just had to give it my all this race, send it a bit. Yeah, I think I've fallen short by like 3 or 4 points or something like that. So it might come down to the steward's room, but we'll have to see.
Wow. So, I mean, fantastic. Just a great race. Just have to say congratulations on it. Close fought, second in the championship. This is the highest you finished up in the global edition. So you can take some small consolation from that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. We'll see what happens with this championship anyway, because I think there was an overtake in race one that's a bit unfair, so I might be protesting that and seeing what happens, but yeah, congrats to Naquib on the championship.
Understandable. Well, congratulations anyway, mate, and we'll see you again next year.
Yep.
All right, so so close for Josh Purwien. In the end, though, let's talk to the championship leader as we see cars flying through the air as the server closes down. But hopefully we'll get the final positions as well. But in the meantime, there we go. There are the final positions.
So Inigo Anton with the fastest lap, which could be crucial in the final analysis. Purwien, a brilliant win ahead of Caelan Chin, second place for Caelan this season. And Naquib getting up into P3. That 10 points could be so important. Inigo Anton again fast, P4. Nabil 5. Ayman Hazik 6. Tasby down in 7. Tadashi 8. Faustino 9. And a point for Gretschel on his debut. Welcome to E-Racing GP. But unofficially, Alex, I think you can talk to our potential champion, not forgetting that we have called him a champion in the past, and it didn't happen then.
Absolutely. So, obviously, barring any protests, it looked like a clean race, but Naquib...
It looks like it.
4 times runner-up, 4 times the loser, you could say, but finally you win your first global edition.
You know, I'm still confused whether to celebrate or not. It's been so many times. Oh my god. I'm lost for words. Wow. I think this time it felt a bit more solid though.
Yeah.
This time it felt a bit more real.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. We also noticed Nabil on the last lap got right out of your way.
Yeah, I just had a very quick thank you to this now. I can't believe it. Huge thanks to him. He helped me there this race. A huge shout out to James as well. I think he helped me in this last race. I needed someone to be with me, to be with the points and whatnot, and thankfully he was there. I'm lost for words.
Yeah, it always is a team effort. Des, you got any questions?
Yeah, a third place in the end, Naquib. You had to work your way through a big crowd of racers. You had 1 or 2 little scary moments.
It was like I said in race one, it's so difficult to overtake. You have to be a bit forceful. Josh, I think, showed it as well. Fair play to him for winning the race, coming all the way back from 13th. Drove really well. But yeah, it was difficult, but thankfully it played out well.
Well, we can't confirm you as champion, and I've already done that once to you before, so I just hope that the mathematics is right, but there will be protests. I know Josh is putting a protest in for something that happened in race number 1, actually.
Ooh, that's worrying, but we shall see the results.
Yeah, I think I know which move it was. I think he's right to protest, but I think you might be clean on that one. We'll see. Let's see what the stewards say.
We'll see, yeah, but nevertheless, I think I knew today, I think, with me being on top, coming into the final round, having never done it before, I wanted to do it no matter what. It was going to be mine no matter what, so I tried my best.
Well done.
Thank you.
So Naquib Azlan has got a nervous wait, although the wait is a short one, Alex. I think you've got the results, the race control results. Reveal what you have.
Yes, okay, so Josh did do a protest, and the stewards did have a look at it, and they threw it out. There was small contact when Naquib overtook Josh, but it wasn't enough to move him offline. Just a little bit small touches like that when he went through. And he left Josh space on the exit as well. So Naquib keeps that win from race 1, and that gives him the championship.
At the 5th time of asking, having been 2nd 3 times, 3rd once, Naquib Azlan is the champion of e-racing GP. A brave effort by Australia's Josh Purwien. He comes through in P2. Yeah. A fabulous season. Congratulations, Alex, once again. Any competition that goes to the final corner of the final race of the final round of the season can't be bad.